On today's episode of the Fumblerooski podcast, the Seattle Seahawks are Super Bowl 60 champions. A recap of Super Bowl 60 and what's next for both teams, and just general thoughts about the Super Bowl afterwards. This is the Fumblerooski podcast.
It may not have always showed it in the stat sheet, but you can see him making throws when he needs to make the throws.
Back-to-back games where he has 3 touchdowns. Someone's got to get that 6 or 7 spot.
He's an elite wide receiver as a rookie.
Truly a lose-lose scenario for both sides.
Welcome to the Fumblerooski podcast by Power 88 Radio and Secret Weapon Consulting. We got Adam, we got Tuck, being the supportive friend. So the Seahawks dismantled the Patriots 29-13, winning their second Super Bowl in franchise history. And evidently in both Super Bowls, it was pretty much the same thing. Just a defensive exhibition. Yeah, belt to ass. Yeah. I think the best way to really sum up this game is if you looked at the Patriots defense on the bench after the interception, the first interception that Drake May threw. That was the perfect encapsulation of how this game went. That defense did everything they could to keep this team in the game from start to finish. And it wasn't enough. Sam Darnold did just enough to get his team the victory. It wasn't like this wasn't the craziest performance that we could have ever seen out of like Sam Darnold. Like he did good, didn't do a ton. He had a 50% completion percentage, 1 touchdown, 202 yards. And this is not to disrespect Sam Darnold at all. This was not the greatest game. This wasn't a fantastic game that he had. Like when Pats got pressure on him, and they got pressure on him a good amount of times, but they couldn't fucking sack him. For some reason, Sam Darnold was like, he just couldn't be brought down. It was insane. He only got sacked once, and he probably could have been sacked like 6 or 7 times. It was kind of not to make that joke, but I'm actually being serious when I say that.
Fuck you.
Am I wrong though? He actually probably could have been sacked that many times. The number probably should have been that high. And of course, on the other side for Drake May, 27 for 43, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He got sacked 6 times. This was Seattle's defense at its finest, and they exposed the O-line. We knew the O-line was a bit of an issue for the last month. But this was the worst that we had seen. And, I wasn't a fan of the game plan. I wish that the Pats pushed the ball down the field more. But at the same time, the times when they did try to push the ball down the field more, Drake May had DeMarcus Lawrence or somebody else in his face to fuck it all up. The amount of flags that were thrown, which was very little, kind of surprised me. Especially the fact that fucking Job punched Stephon Diggs in the face after the fact that Diggs got fucking backhanded out of bounds, well out of bounds. There should have been 2 flags on that play. And in my opinion, it probably could have swung the momentum. But at the same time, the O-line probably just would have just been a sliding door for that fucking defense anyway, so it doesn't even matter. First half, we said it in the group chat, it's 9-0, but this feels like it should be 30-0 because the Seahawks defense was dominating. The Seahawks offense, they were moving the ball down the field a little bit, but the defense at the same time, the Pats defense was a very big bend, don't break defense throughout the entirety of this game, which was very different from the regular season because every time an offense got into the red zone, it was 6 points every single time. Other than that, second half, I mean, Pats made a good, not a good comeback, but it was a good effort to make a comeback. But at the end of the day, Seahawks are just that good. And Kenneth Walker won Super Bowl MVP. And this was a game where you didn't want Kenneth Walker to go off. You wanted this to be a Sam Darnold game, but you couldn't keep Kenneth Walker in check. Thoughts from you guys, Adam? What's
there were two keys to the Seahawks on offense as to why they were effective enough. They were good enough because, I mean, look, the Patriots defense did play very well. First of all, Sam Darnold this season was the worst quarterback in the league under pressure. Like, statistically, he plays very poorly under pressure. And on this game, he really didn't melt down. He is the type of quarterback who he does have a little bit of that seeing ghosts DNA in him, but it didn't show on this game. It just didn't. He didn't melt down. He made some throws when he absolutely needed to. And when he was rushed, he didn't turn it over. He did not turn the ball over. And there were pressure that he faced.
There were a couple times. There were a couple
where it was close, but he didn't turn the ball over. So I'll give it to him. That was, I got to hand it to him. I've said it many times on this show. I've made fun of Sam Darnold a lot. I got to give him his flowers. He exercised his demons. I outright said, just thinking about it, the thought in my head of him hoisting a Lombardi trophy, the thought looks photoshopped. Now I saw it with my own eyes. And it did look weird. But he earned it. He did all of the right things. The defense pretty much won this game. But you don't win this game if you make sure you don't crash the car on offense. And he didn't crash the car. And he did throw a touchdown that was pretty much the dagger in the game. The other key was Kenneth Walker could not be stopped. They did a decent job in the beginning of the game, the very beginning, but at the end of the second half, that's when things started to melt down. They were able to get into field goal range, kick a few field goals, and that was mainly Kenneth Walker who was able to do that. And that really is the key for the Patriots defense. If they can stop the run, then the rest of the defense figures itself out. And it melted down when Kenneth Walker was able to really do what he was doing. And it also helped Sam Darnold because Sam Darnold is really good on play action. Once they were able to get the run going, then that helped Darnold. That's why they were able to get the Seahawks offense at least to be functional enough to win the game. On offense for the Patriots, oh my God. This team did not look like they really deserved to be on the field. The offensive line was atrocious. I know the left side of the offensive line for the Patriots has been, it's been bad. This was another level. Will Campbell, 14 pressures allowed in one game. That was the most all season, including the playoffs, by one player. That's insane. Your left tackle cannot be doing that. And Jared Wilson was literally hoisted into Drake May for a sack. Byron Murphy literally picked him up and threw his ass at Drake May. And May wasn't very good either. He was flinching. He looked like the lights were way too bright for him. And look, the kid is young, so he could grow. I have some concerns that we'll get to once we get to once we talk a little bit more in depth about the Patriots later in this episode. But I have some concerns about the Patriots offense. They're young, so I'll give them half a pass right now, but I do have my concerns going forward.
Yeah. I want to make note. I was the only believer in Sam Darnold on this show. I was the only believer.
You really were.
I really was.
I made fun of you a shit ton for that too.
Yeah, you did.
He could not beat a team above 500 until late this season. That was a problem for him.
When it mattered. Yes. Hey, he did it when it mattered.
He won that Thursday night football game against the Rams, and that was the turning point for him.
Yes.
Up until that point, even including his Vikings games, his his Seahawks games this year, was not able to beat a team above 500
until that Rams.
until that game. And that's when you kind of saw it. You just saw a flip of a switch. And I was like, and then he won that ugly 49ers game in week 18. And then they blew their doors off 2 weeks later. And I was like, okay. And then they won that Rams game in the NFC Championship game against them again. It was like, okay, he's kind of coming out of it. He didn't do a lot in this game, but he did enough. So he's a Super Bowl champion. He deserves everything. He's all the praise that he's getting. I can't believe it.
Doc, your thoughts?
First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to the new Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. They came in and did what they were supposed to do. Sam Darnold, I want to say congrats to him. Even though I do believe he was still seeing ghosts in the Super Bowl, I want to say he didn't turn the ball over. He kept them on schedule, and he did what he was supposed to do. Even though he was late on throws, and I do believe he could have had a few touchdowns, he did more than enough to help secure the victory. Kenneth Walker was a man amongst boys last night. He just couldn't be stopped in the second half. Congrats to him. The Patriots defense did all that they could before the dam eventually broke through. I thought Milton Williams showed up on defense. I know Christian Gonzalez showed up on defense. And Mike Woodson, the safety you guys had, was okay during that game. I think overall your team...
Craig Woodson,
that's what it was. Craig Woodson was good. I think your defense overall was good. It's just your offense couldn't get anything going. I will say Will Campbell had a horrible game last night at the worst possible time to have one of those games. It just couldn't be acceptable. And the left guard was not much better. And it's bad enough you're having struggles with the left guard and left tackle. But then that interception that turned into a touchdown where you let with Witherspoon come straight through the right side, and then Nwosu takes it all the way for a touchdown.
Actually, that was technically an interception because Mays.
Yeah, that was an interception. That was his first interception. I thought it was a sack when I first saw it. I was like, damn. And then they took it all the way to the touchdown. I'm like, yeah, that's the nail.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, let's see if they can still get something here. No. Drake May threw that bad interception to Julian Love. I was like, the game is over. They're going to kick another field goal, and it's going to be a 2-score game, and it's going to be like 15 points, and it's going to be a struggle. Long and behold, it was a struggle the rest of the way. So, all in all, I thought it was an okay game dominated by defenses, but Seattle's offense was clearly the better of the two teams, and then Drake May and the Patriots offense couldn't get anything going, especially with the pressure that was coming at them, because they were blitzing when he didn't expect it. They were dropping back when he was expecting blitz, and he just couldn't get a handle on the game until too little, too late. And even when he had a handle on the game, it's not like his left guard and left tackle were helping him. So all in all, good one for Seattle. Lots of things to clean up if I'm New England.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tuck, the offensive line's worse than you think, too, because the young kids were bad, and the guys who are good are old. Garrett Bradbury is, 31, I believe? And you got a career year out of him. Morgan Moses was probably your best offensive lineman all season. He's 35. So
he got exposed pretty bad last night, too.
Yeah.
He's been your best offensive lineman all year. So it's worse than you think on the offensive line. They had a decent year. The offensive line was middling, which is a huge win for the Patriots. It's a big reason as to why they were able to go 14-3. But we'll get to the Patriots, but the line is worse than you think.
Yeah. Yeah. And like at the end of the day, I think when you look at this, like you could say Drake May didn't have a good game, which is very true. He did not have a good game. The entire offense in general didn't have a good game. I mean, you look at like a guy like Stephon Diggs, right? And this is unfortunately the mantra for him too. Like a guy like him, he's an incredible receiver, but Buffalo fans will also tell you, Buffalo fans and partly Minnesota fans, outside the one big catch that he had against the Saints, the Minnesota Miracle. Other than that, he kind of disappears in the playoffs. Like, and when you couple that into just the talent that Drake May had, like, yeah, they're above average players, but they weren't like game breaking players. Like Trevion Henderson can be a game breaking player, but he also was barely used in the playoffs, wasn't very effective in the Super Bowl, as very obvious to tell. So yeah, this it sucks. The whole thing sucks as a Pats fan, but it's not the most heartbreaking loss I've ever seen. Didn't put me nearly to tears. There's been worse. And, it helps that I kept the expectations low because, at the end of the day, like, this is the biggest turnaround we have ever seen in football. No team has ever gone from winning 3 games to then going to the Super Bowl the next year.
4.
So
Yeah.
4 wins. But yeah, all in all, can't be incredibly mad over what I have seen this year. And, at the a Super Bowl win would have just been icing for me. And at the end of the day, the Pats are ahead of schedule. But we'll talk more about that when we get into the what's next for both teams. Anything else from this game we want to touch on?
I would say, as far as, this defense was much better than even advertised. Like, I knew this was an elite defense for the Seahawks, but I didn't realize that they were this good. Their coverage was amazing. Yeah, Drake May wasn't able to find anybody, or he wasn't able to hit an open guy, but these guys were getting covered. Like, the pass coverage was amazing in this game.
Yeah.
And it certainly didn't help that, the front 7 was also awesome. Like, this defense showed up when it absolutely needed to show up. Both defenses did really well. Christian Gonzalez basically carried the entire secondary. Some of those plays that I saw him make, I've been a subtle critic of Christian Gonzalez during this season. I always thought he was a really good corner. He has a chance to be elite. He's a number 1, probably one of the best in football. He has a chance to be much better than he has been this year. We saw that, every bit of it in this game. What an amazing corner he is. I was hesitant on whether he deserves to be paid the most out of any corner in football. I'm not hesitant anymore. He showed up in the biggest game of the year, and he's one of the youngest kids in football as far as corners go.
When I was at my buddy's place last night, I think Gonzo made like the 6th pass deflection or 6th big play that he made. And my buddy was like, fucking great. Now unfortunately, we got to pay him now. Which is, it's very true. And as you mentioned, Adam, like, he's probably going to end up getting a big bag. But when is he due for it, though? That's when's his contract look? Well, should we just get into the outlook of the Patriots at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. What's next? So we mentioned the Christian Gonzalez extension that's going to potentially be coming up. Patriots for next season do have, what was it, $45 million cap space?
I'll fact check you on
42.
that, but I think it was around there.
42. So, which is 11th in the NFL for next season, and you still have what season am I on? There, you said 42.
Yes.
I'm
Here,
reading.
just keep talking. I'll check.
I'm reading 33, but anyways, the biggest thing for next season at the end of the day for this off season, I feel like is going to have to be re-upping the offensive line.
33 million.
33 million.
And what the All right. I'm not going to argue.
All right. 33 mil, which is going to be 12th in the NFL next year. So they have the room to improve. It's just a matter of where you're going to improve. And I think the obvious thing, of course, is improving at the O-line. And I think you have to get a number one this season. You have to get a number one, or you have wide receiver.
Oh, okay.
You have to get a number one.
Improve the offensive line and then say they need a number one. Like a number one what?
Sorry.
They need a lot of guys on that offensive line.
They do. And look, I feel like Jerry shouldn't be out just yet on Campbell or Jared Wilson because they are rookies. But, after that Super Bowl performance, you do kind of have to reevaluate what you're looking at here. And as we mentioned, Bradbury and Moses are 30-plus years old. And they both had great years, but can they do it again next year? I don't know. But yeah, you need a number one wide receiver because Stephon Diggs is going to be 33, or he is 33. And he got you 1,000 yards this year. He showed up in games like the Bills and the Ravens. But like I said, once playoffs comes around, he's a bit of a no-show. He made the timely plays, and like I said, he got 1,000 yards for you, but he's not going to be the one that's going to get the job done for you at this point. Now, if you want to say you're going to rely on who you have as your young guys on the team already and try to develop them into number ones, fine. But right now, you need to target a number one because I don't know if Booty's going to develop into a number one. I don't know if Kyle Williams is going to develop into the potential number two wide receiver deep threat that could potentially become of them.
I think neither of them will happen, but
that's the thing. I feel like you can't bet on it.
You're more optimistic than I am. I think Booty I definitely think Booty is, at best, he could be a low to mid end two.
Is Tuck just laughing at how we're just shitting on the Patriots now?
No, he just said Booty is a low end.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shut up. That's not even a good. Listen.
Sorry, he's a low end too. All right, let's go.
Well, listen, the Patriots have their needs, but they also have some free agents that they do need to address. They have an abundance of free agents here that they need to either retain or let go. Austin Hooper, he's on the older end. I would assume that they'll let him go. They still have Hunter Henry. Clavon Chasen is a big one. He's 26. He's an unrestricted free agent. I don't think he's a number one edge rusher, but he's a really good two. And I think they should hold on to him. And he likes it here. Jalen Hawkins, one of your starting safeties. I thought he was pretty good. I think you should try to keep him.
It wasn't bad. I liked him.
A restricted free agent, Jack Gibbons. He shouldn't be hard to hold on to. He was more of a depth piece, and he's a pretty good player. I think you should keep him. Here's one that also Kairos Tonga. Again, another guy. He's a rotational piece. I think if you want him, then you'll get him. A lot of these guys are going to want to come back. They liked it here. Everyone here liked it. Here's one that a lot of people aren't talking about that I don't think a lot of people want, but I want him. And it's going to be my segue into what the Patriots should do with Will Campbell. Vidarian Lowe is an unrestricted free agent. In the games that he started, he was pretty good in pass protection as far as left tackles go. I always thought that Vidarian Lowe was the criticism was unfair last year. His blocking was kind of an issue, but his main issues were with discipline. He was penalized very heavily. It all got coached out of him with this coaching staff. Doug Marrone was able to just work his magic on him, and he turned into a decent tackle. I think they should get him back. Vidarian Lowe should return to this team. And I'll put it out there right now. I think the Patriots should bring back Vidarian Lowe, and they should make it an open competition for the left tackle spot.
Would that make you suggest to throw Will Campbell as a guard then? Because I know we've
That's
been.
where you segue into.
That's what I think I don't think he's good enough to be a left tackle. I just don't. It could be his knee. We'll find out. We're going to find out. But even when he was healthy, before he faced this knee injury, he wasn't much to write home about. He was just okay. He was
Yeah, he
solid.
wasn't great. Like he's still
Anytime
struggling.
that he faced an elite edge rusher, which there wasn't many that they faced during the regular season, there was only one, and he had his way, and we're all thinking it. Myles Garrett had his way with him. He's
Yes.
an all-time great edge rusher, but you need to at least not let him get 5 sacks on you in one game.
He was having a
He
very
did that.
good season.
He had a great season. I'm just saying they should make it an open competition for Vidarian Lowe versus Will Campbell, because I don't think you can just go and draft another tackle. Don't see what you have in the 4th overall pick. If your backup left tackle beats him, then at least you have your left tackle, because I think he's okay. I've never hated Vidarian Lowe. And you have your left guard, and maybe he develops into a tackle later. But that's what I would do, and have the entire left side of the line move over one spot. Then that allows you to just get rid of Garrett Bradbury.
Yeah.
Make that an open competition too. Screw it.
Center?
Garrett Bradbury versus Jared Wilson for the center spot.
Why not?
Make it all, maybe we're overreacting here, but just
You are. Why do I have more faith in your team than you right now? This is insane.
what do you think is going
Like, what do you think, Tuck?
We need
Like,
an
on the
unbiased
outside
source.
perspective,
I'm saying open battle for left tackle in training camp. You tell me what are we doing? Excuse me, sorry. What are we doing, Tuck?
We can't just have constant open battles against every player you don't like at the position they're currently at. You can't just bump over the guard to the center. It may not transition well, and maybe not for left tackle to guard. Let's just be out and let's just say that Will Campbell had a bad season second half. Let's just say after the injury, he didn't come back and wasn't the same. Let's just hope after he gets healthy and he still looks the way that he looks, I'd say it's very much an open competition once we get into training camp. After that, if he looks better or even great, then we shouldn't even have the conversation with Will. He's the 4th overall pick. He just had a bad second half, and I don't think he's fully recovered from the MCL. I think once he's recovered from that, I think he'll be fine. But if he still looks this way, I agree. Have an open competition. But I'm not sure if Lowe is your answer. There was a reason you drafted Will Campbell to start with.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with that. At the end of the day, Will Campbell is a rookie. Like, I feel like we can't have the jury out on him until we see what the hell happens with year 2, maybe year 3. Maybe an open competition, but like Tuck said, it like sometimes the transition from one position to the other is a bit of a struggle. And if one guy has been playing that position for all his life, you may want to keep him there. Like Will Campbell, at the end of the day, has played tackle for basically his whole life.
Well, listen, the offensive line is one thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be questions. There's probably going to be some new faces on this line by the start of next year. I bet there's going to be some new starters. Most of their entire front five is not up for free agency, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's new faces on their starting offensive line. That's all I'm saying. Whether one guy is cut, another guy is traded, they draft a guy. But there are some, to address their wide receiving core, they played very well this year. They obviously didn't have a long-term one. And Stephon Diggs has I wouldn't say he's turned into a one-trick pony, but he's as close to it as it gets. He doesn't play outside anymore. He's more of an underneath guy. And he's really good against zone coverage, but he can be had against man, which wasn't always the case. So they need a new guy. And I don't think I've said this on air yet, but I have one I have a free agency crush that I want the Patriots to go after.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a kid for the Colts who's about to be a free agent. And the Colts might put the franchise tag on him. Alec Pierce is 25 years old. He entered the league as a one-trick pony. He was a second-round pick. He's always been a guy who's been primarily a deep threat. He can't really do anything else. But he's developed a bit of a route tree. He can play underneath. He can do the intermediate stuff. He can do a lot of things. His overall catches has gone up every year he's been in the league. And he's been putting up numbers with absolute trash at quarterback. Absolute trash all of his career. Imagine what he does with Drake May. His bread and butter is his deep ball. Drake May is good at throwing the deep ball. He's awesome at it when he has his head screwed on straight and he has time to throw. I think Alec Pierce, and from what I've seen from him, he has a nice little competitive edge. He's young, he's developing, he's getting better. I think he's a wide receiver 1 in the making, where if you pair him up with Drake May, he could become one of the better wide receivers in football. I love Alec Pierce. I want the Patriots to go and get him instead of AJ Brown. Younger, he'll probably be cheaper. He's projected about $20 million a year, which will be a little pricey, but compared to AJ Brown and the numbers that I believe Alec Pierce would put up around here, I think it would be a bargain. That's a guy I want them to go after.
I think that.
But they could put the tag on him. I have my theory as to why I don't believe they would, why they may not, because they have a lot of free agents. They don't have that much money, and they have a bunch of pass catchers already under contract. I mean, they just married themselves 5 minutes ago to Michael Pittman to be their number 1, and they have Josh Dobbs, who's still on his rookie contract, who's a pretty solid receiver himself. And they just used a first-round pick on Tyler Warren. And again, they have free agents on their offensive line that they need to retain. So they may not use that tag on Alec Pierce. So we'll see what Carly Ursay ends up doing. But
Yeah. I mean, obviously you mentioned AJ Brown. I mean, you also outside of the wide receiver position, you've heard about the potential trade rumors of Max Crosby wanting to go to New England as well. So I think that you have to potentially factor that in if they do end up making that trade. But what ends up being the return for the Raiders? Now we're getting into a lot of different hypotheticals, but for now, let's imagine nothing else happens. I would agree. Like, we should get a guy like Alec Pierce now.
Listen, AJ Brown's just going to take prospect capital. Excuse me. I'm in the baseball state of mind already.
It's baseball season now.
Yeah, for us, go Red
Pitchers
Sox.
and catchers
They just traded for
yet.
a guy. They traded for a good prospect, by the way. Young kid, good infielder. But either way, this ain't a baseball show. It's going to take draft capital. It's going to take that pretty heavy draft capital, whether it's him or Max Crosby. And again, they still have needs, and they still need to get younger. They're young, but they're not young enough. And they need to use those picks. And I'm a little worried that if they end up being tempted into trading for one of those two guys, that they're not going to have the assets necessary to continue to build this team. Because A.J. Brown and Max Crosby aren't young enough either.
Nice. Tuck, you have anything you wanted to add?
I could see Alec Pierce being a part of this team. Booty being the back shoulder guy. I guess either Diggs or Mac Hollins being the slot guy, or and then Pierce being the deep threat. So I could see either or. But what are you willing to give up to get him if they franchise tag him? That's the issue.
I mean, my theory is they wouldn't do it because they're right. The Colts' right tackle. If they franchise him, it's all out the window. I don't think you're getting him. But if they tag Braden Smith, who's their right tackle, and he's also young, I could see that being a possibility. Maybe they can swipe him for a nice deal. But I mean, franchise tag trades most of the time. I mean, we've seen every once in a while you trade a 1, but usually it's a 2 or 3, if that. There's just, I mean, it depends on what you're willing to trade for a 25-year-old wide receiver who you believe is going to be your number 1. And then you're going to have to pay him probably $80 million. I think it's worth it. I think the kid's going to be awesome.
80 million.
I think he's in the wrong environment. I think if you give him that quarterback, give him an elite quarterback, whether it's, Jaden Daniels or Drake May, or, I mean, name the team that needs a number 1 receiver right now. Josh Allen. Oh my God. Alec Pierce will turn into one of the better receivers in the game. I strongly believe that. This kid's awesome.
All right. I want to see it.
I like it. I guess the last thing I have in terms of the what's next for the Patriots, and it's the statistic of, quarterbacks that make it to the Super Bowl never end up getting another crack at it. Specifically those that make it in year 2, aka guys like Dan Marino and Joe Burrow. This is just me now lashing out at CJ that he's not here. Because I love to bring up Adam takes when he's not here and shit on Adam for it. So now I'm going to do it for CJ, and then
I listened to the episode. I know what you do.
But in terms of that, I think it's an overreaction just because, you could say that, like the Dolphins, for example, in the 80s with Dan Marino, you could say they were ahead of schedule, but at the end of the day, they didn't really, they were known for having high flying offense, but what was their defense? The Bengals, they're just the Bengals. Patriots, I feel like, are a little bit different. And, with this team, I think they could definitely get back. But I guess the question is, how soon can they get back? And if they can get back. But we all know they still have a lot of work to get done. And next year is going to be a much tougher road ahead in terms of the schedule. So we'll see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into the what's next for the Seahawks and some more general Super Bowl thoughts and talking points. This is the Fumblerooski podcast.
It may not have always showed it in the stat sheet, but you can see him making throws when he needs to make the throws.
Back-to-back games where he has 3 touchdowns. Someone's got to get that 6 or 7 spot.
He's an elite wide receiver as a rookie.
Truly a lose-lose scenario for both sides.
Welcome back to the Fumblerooski podcast. Let's get into what's next for the Seahawks. Well, the biggest thing for the Seahawks is the fact that they're going to be losing Clint Kubiak, their offensive coordinator. He confirmed last night he is taking the Raiders head coaching job. So there's that. Basically, that's going to be the biggest question is whoever they end up bringing in or whoever they end up promoting, for that matter, to be the offensive coordinator. Can the offense sustain the same success that they had last year? I think that's going to be the biggest question. Because Clint Kubiak did a hell of a job. He turned JSN into the number 1 wide receiver in the league. He helped make Sam Darnold not be a freaking pumpkin. And that's really the biggest thing. Can they find an OC that, I don't know, are you looking for an OC that lives up to the standards of what Clint Kubiak had been this season? That's really the question. Like, do they need a guy like that to get to potentially make a back-to-back run?
They do have an abundance of free agents that they're going to need to address.
Mm-hmm.
The most notable one is Kenneth Walker. Also, Boye Mafe, Kobe Bryant, Tariq Woolen. Yeah, they have some guys that they're going to want to try and retain.
Which isn't a massive problem considering that they are They have 74 mil in cap space, which is 5th most in the league.
Yeah. But I also don't think this team is really worried about their free agents or free agency in general because they've been better in the draft. I mean, the way that they have drafted over the past few years is absolutely incredible. I mean, especially in the first and second round. And a lot of the players they got out of the Russell Wilson deal. It's interesting. You know, they were able to win a Super Bowl with the help of Russell Wilson, and they nearly won a second. And even years later, he's helping them win today with the draft capital they got from him. So that's funny, but they're going to want to just retain some players. But overall, I mean, they have a team that's built to win in the next few years because they just it's all built through the draft. And that's really the way that you want to do it. It's cheaper. You have more money because of it. That's the reason they have $74 million in cap space. It's because they don't need to sign anybody if everyone is homegrown. It's awesome. They do a really good job over there.
Which allows them to retain these guys at the end of the day too.
Yeah, but they will have to pay them. So.
Oh yeah, no, that's the they performed at such a high level that there's a good chance, like depending on how they play free agency out with these guys, that they may not be able to bring back 1 or 2 guys.
Yeah, but they might trade. You know, they might draft a few guys too. So
yeah, that too. Tuck, your thoughts?
I think it depends on first things first. OC. I think Clint's going to leave fairly soon, so they have to get that rolling. They're kind of late in the game, unfortunately, but can't really help that if you're too busy winning Super Bowls. So,
And you didn't know that he was leaving till last week, essentially.
Yeah, I thought due to this coaching cycle, all the good jobs were already taken. I thought he would just stay, but no. I guess I believe he's going to Oakland, right?
Yeah, Vegas, but yeah.
Sorry. That's how I know him. My fault. Vegas.
Okay.
So after he's gone, you're going to have to look for a quality OC. I'm not sure if there's anyone that's available in the professional level. Maybe you might look in the college ranks and see if you can get an OC there. But I think just get someone that's proven, understands what you're trying to run on the offense, and knows what you are and what you aren't, and knows what the weapons you have with you. Outside the OC position, try to re-sign Kenneth Walker and try to build through the drafts. I think you guys have some quality pieces that are going to go away, but I think they can be easily refilled if you're capable of drafting well again. Thankfully, they hit on some picks last year, and thankfully, they still have some players that are signed to long-term deals. So I think they'll still be contenders. I'm not sure if they'll be the monsters as they were this year, but they'll still be a problem to deal with. I think Sam Darnold signed a good extension for the Seattle Seahawks. Well, for money-wise, and I think that's going to help them out with signing some of these pieces. I think Kenneth Walker will stay. I really do think that. And then
I don't think it'll be very hard to keep Kenneth Walker. Yeah, you may have to give him some sort of a bag, but he's going to want to stay in Seattle. That's not going to be very difficult at all.
Yeah, I think he'll stay in Seattle. I don't think they'll make it difficult for him to leave, especially since he was the Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, exactly.
Funny. The minute he gets away from his handcuff, he breaks out and becomes a viable piece to extend quite easily. Funny how that works out. But I think this is a good problem to have for Seattle outside of the OC problem. But all around, I think the pieces that they're missing can be easily be found in the draft. But it depends on what direction they want to go in. Do they want to go on offense first and deal with something there, or on defense? I think they'll probably go offensive first and then go from there. I wouldn't say the first round is a luxury piece for them, but I don't see anything glaring right now that they need to deal with. I mean, because they just won the Super Bowl. Maybe OLine, but that's about it. and maybe linebacker. But Ernest Jones was great for them, so I don't see why they would go there. So all in all, good luck with them, and they have a litany of ways to go to.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like with the Seahawks, I feel like it's hard to be like, all right, what do they need to work on as Super Bowl champs, And like Patriots, it's easy to pick them apart. But is there anything else in terms of the Seahawks that you're looking for them to kind of do in terms of the offseason?
I wouldn't say expand the offense. Maybe expand Sam Darnold's role in the offense. I think outside of that, no, I don't. I don't see them changing much because I think the defense is always going to be quality, especially with Mike McDonald as the head coach. I think the defense is always going to be good. Though I think it would be easy if they got themselves like a corner, like a man corner that's plays specifically man. Outside of that, no, I don't see anything changing.
Adam, you got anything else you think that they should key in on for the offseason? You're muted.
I mean, this is what happens when you're the defending champ is that, I mean, you have a complete enough team so that you're saying, I mean, what needs do we really need to fill? Unless, you have a bunch of free agents. You have some free agents to retain, but it shouldn't be hard to retain them if you even decide to bring them back. I mean, do you not think that you can find another cornerback besides Reek Woolen to be your number 2?
No,
I think you can.
Like you can.
Exactly. Number 1 corners are hard to find. Number 2s really aren't that difficult unless you find a luxury guy to bring in. Throwback to when we thought Devin Witherspoon was a luxury pick because we thought Reek Woolen was the number 1. Yeah. And it turns out that Witherspoon is actually that guy and Woolen is kind of an idiot.
He's not that bad. He's just been struggling as of late. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what happened.
He used to be awesome.
He was awesome. He was awesome his first year. He was quality his second year, decent his third year, and it's been going downhill ever since.
Well, they also need past Jackson Smith and Jigba. What I will tell you is they probably need they are going to need another wide receiver because right now their number 2 is Cooper Kupp, who is old. He's okay, but he's old, and he's going to continue to age.
He's still the guy that makes the timely plays for you, and his stats show he was more of a 3 this year.
Exactly, and they don't really have a 2. They traded for Raheed Shaheed.
But he was really a return guy at that point. Yeah.
And, most of that is because they traded for him at the deadline. I'm not a big fan of trading for offensive players at the deadline because they have to learn a new playbook in the middle of the season. And it may take a few months for them to actually, make some meaningful plays. Sometimes that they're able to just jump in and then it's just like that. But,
sure, but then you take one back on the opening kickoff of a playoff game, and it turns into one of the better trade deadline deals of the year.
And it was, but not for his wide receiving, not for his wide receiver contributions. It's for his special teams.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is they're going to want another. They're going to want another. They're going to want another wide receiver. That's all.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And retain Kenneth Walker because he is a free agent.
Yeah. Cool. All right. We'll step off of that then. General Super Bowl thoughts, since this is the Super Bowl, it's a whole big corporate spectacle. Speaking of corporate, Super Bowl commercials. What did you guys think of the Super Bowl commercials? Because I feel like that there was really the only one that was truly
hell
classic Super Bowl commercial, nostalgia, got me riled up, was the Budweiser commercial.
Oh, that was I sent that in our meme group chat in Instagram about a week before, because they released it and they showed it, and it was that thing is so cool. I love Budweiser knows how to do Super Bowl commercials. But besides that, my issue with Super Bowl commercials, it wasn't just this year, this has been years, is that they think that if they have funny celebrities on and they don't have them crack any jokes, they just have them there and just say some things, that they think they just did a really good Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
It feels like we've been getting years of just, they put Kevin Hart in there and he's just doing a commercial and they think it's going to be a good commercial. They just bring celebrities in and they think it's going to do something. And that's an issue that I've had for years. It's not just this one. But one that
the State
another
Farm
one that I
commercial,
liked.
oh my God, they spent a bag with the amount of celebrities they had on,
and it wasn't even good.
Yeah,
but one other one that I really liked was the Jurassic Park one. That was funny. I liked that one. It's
I
like
remember seeing that.
It was an Xfinity commercial, I believe, because it's like he's like, it was that iconic scene where he's like, John, I can't get Jurassic Park going without Dennis Nedry. And he gets interrupted and some guy plugs in Xfinity and it gets the power back on. And then it turns off. It's like all the stuff that happens if that one plot twist never happens in the movie. It's like, hey, I decided to endorse your park, and he's riding on one of the rides. You ever seen Jurassic Park?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Been a while.
I know the movie by heart. I'm one of those dinosaur guys, so
dinosaurs are cool.
Yes,
they're very cool.
I hated the amount of AI. I hated the amount of AI I was seeing. The one where it was like the two robots at like the EDM club or whatever. That weirded me out. I hated that. They showed the two robots and I immediately just was like, get this off my screen. The Dunks commercial, another one. I mean, I liked it just because, it's the classic Dunks commercial where you have your Boston guys and then you have a Tom Brady cameo. That's all. That's sometimes all you need.
Yeah.
That is like the pinnacle of targeting your audience is the Dunks commercials, because they're only targeting to New England essentially.
Sure. I just think Super Bowl commercials aren't the same anymore. They spend a bunch of money. They bring in celebrities. They don't really have any writing behind the commercials. They're not creative. They're not funny. It's just overall, I think Super Bowl commercials have been on the decline.
They don't
put much effort into them anymore.
Yeah, it's been like that for the last decade.
Yeah.
Tuck, any commercials?
Iconic. No, they're not.
Yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, I like when 50 Cent does commercials because I think they're funny. I liked when he did the DoorDash commercials when the Patriots lost. I thought that was good. But outside of that, I couldn't really much enjoy the Super Bowl commercials because I was working. So
that's tough.
Yeah, so that's my struggle. But outside of that, I'm with Adam. They just haven't hit the same over the past few years, and they need to change it up a little bit in order to get me back interested in them.
Yeah. I mean, it used to get to a point where you felt like you couldn't even go to the bathroom because you didn't want to miss any. Now I'm like, I can just hang out on my phone. I can go get some food while the teams aren't playing yet. It's background noise at this point. And they used to be it was must-see TV. I want to see the commercials. People used to watch for the sole reason of watching for the commercials. How many people do that nowadays?
Not me.
Does anybody actually say, man, I'm going to watch for the commercials now? Nobody does it because nobody cares about making good commercials anymore.
Yeah. The only good commercials really is the Budweiser commercial and sometimes the Bud Light commercial. And that's really it.
Rewatch the Jurassic Park one. I'm telling you, that was a good one.
I will.
Right.
Super Bowl halftime show. Well, there was a lot of controversy because, that's just where we are in America now. But outside of that, what did you guys think of the halftime show? I didn't mind it. I was very indifferent to Bad Bunny being the halftime show anyways. Obviously I don't speak Spanish, so I didn't understand a lick of what he said, but like, I don't know. It was a vibe.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. I mean, it was a show. It happened. Couldn't understand what he was saying, but
it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best.
Nah, I think it was pretty good. Even though the music may not have hit for me as much as it would like for Spanish speaking audiences, but at the same time, I like the production of it. I thought the production was really good.
Some dude got married. That was
cool. No, that actually ended up being real. So he the couple that was at getting married at Super Bowl halftime show had initially invited Bad Bunny to their wedding, and instead he was like, "How about you guys just do it at the halftime show?"
Yep.
That's cool. You have a lot of audience who's just like, what is going on? Like some dude's getting married. You have,
Bad Bunny's breaking into your house.
But
yeah,
the grass was paid actors. They had the grass. They didn't just prop it up. They're just like, you know what? Let's just bring some people in. Just sit there. Reminds me of that. Y'all ever read Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Yeah.
Like one of the kids.
Oh, and Greg's a tree.
Greg was a tree, but there was another kid who was a bush because he didn't want to be in. He was forced by his mom. He was a bush, so he just sat there through the entire production playing video games. And like in the movie, you can see he's like Greg's just looking down, and some kid's just sitting there, just like he doesn't have any parts. He's not singing or anything. He's just a bush. He's just sitting there. That's what that reminded me of. Listen, some people got to work. You got to pay some people. Bad Bunny has some money. So, listen, I respect it.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, when you're that rich and famous, crack as many eggs as you like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the wedding thing, though, like, immediately, me and my friends were just like, I hope that's real, because that'd be cool if it was real.
Yeah, like the cameras moving around. I like the way they were choreographing the cameras.
That's what I mean.
Moving around. It was one camera just following everything, which was kind of cool. And they pan over and they're just cutting cake. It's like it felt like they were literally doing the wedding. It was insane.
Yeah.
Which they literally did, but
yeah. I could see why people hated on it, kind of. But I like the message at the end too. Love at the end of the day will always take over hate, and I like how he brought out like all the nationalities, the flags at the end. That was cool. Yeah, and it wasn't a political spectacle that everyone thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Everyone thought that Bad Bunny was going to cause this whole fucking political stir up, but no.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't.
Full halftime show.
Like it's a halftime show. You're gonna, give us a show and give me a break from the Patriots getting their asses beat.
Yeah.
The last two Super Bowls have been kind of shitty, haven't they?
Yeah. That was the other thing about the Super Bowl that I was actually meant to bring up is that I hope that we aren't getting into the trend of what like the first 30 Super Bowls were, which were just straight blowouts like almost every single year. And since 2020, we've now had 3 blowouts. Or
2020 was a blowout.
Or at least 3.
21 wasn't. 22 was nice. 21 through 23 were pretty good Super Bowls.
Yeah. But still,
24 was a bad Super Bowl.
24?
Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking 2024, as in like San Francisco, whatchamacallit, Chiefs.
Yeah, the OT game.
Yeah, that was a good Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. 21. I'm talking about the season, 21 through 23.
Oh, okay.
Those are good Super Bowls, but 24 was really bad. I'm sorry. It's fun to watch the Chiefs get blown out. I thought the Super Bowl commercials did fairly well, but
I was about to say,
they
I was
still won an
entertained
entertaining game.
Yeah. Like obviously, like this Pats game, it wasn't a blowout. It just wasn't competitive. Like it wasn't that competitive of a game. just because, it really just came down to how many times can the Patriots defense stop the Seattle offense or hold on as this game went on.
If we want to go over more thoughts, I thought let's talk about that one point when it was 19-0. And then Drake May throws a touchdown pass, like probably the best ball he threw all season, or rather all game. And then they hold a very quick 3-and-out, and they're marching down the field again. And you're thinking, if they can score quick, this is kind of a ball game. And I've never seen such a casual 19-0 comeback that almost started. I can't even say almost was, because it literally lasted like 3 seconds, but it's like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I was like, they already lost. It's the fourth quarter, 19-0. That's always teams that are down 17-0 or more, or 17 points or more, going into the fourth quarter never win. Especially in the playoffs. There's one time that it happened. We all know which one. But we're like, what's happening? And you don't even need onside kicks or 2-point conversions. It's just
you didn't even need. Yeah, they didn't need it yet. They weren't there yet.
Yeah, but that interception ruined it. So thanks, Drake.
Yeah. Well, that Collinsworth, he had the announcer's jinx, but let's be fair. I think everyone was thinking the same. Everyone was thinking the same exact thing.
Yes.
You can't completely put that on Collinsworth. I even texted my girlfriend who was driving home from the mini party that we were at. She was driving home, and I texted her, Drake is cooking. And then 2 seconds later, Drake just threw a pick.
Why would you do that?
Because he was cooking, and I was updating her on the game.
Now, if he threw another touchdown to make it 14-19, then it would have got.
I would have started shitting myself.
He's like, the chosen one, the prophesized. He's back.
Yeah.
He's leading us. No.
We're so back.
You're so bad.
No.
Would you have been more proactive in the group chat at that point in time, saying, we're doing it?
Maybe, yeah. I probably would have. But I think part of me is also just all right, we're still down 5.
If they got that touchdown, because there were still double digits in time left.
There
if
was.
They got another touchdown, then that's game on. I mean, even if the Seahawks score again, then that's game on. 5-point game with 7 or 8 minutes left. Oh boy, we have a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe how quickly that was wait a second. It went from this is a blowout to wait, this is a game, and that. And I couldn't believe it.
Well, even after the first interception, I still wasn't completely out of it, because
still 2-possession game.
It's still a 2-possession game. And I was like, all right, you know what? They can only let up 3 here, and that's it. They can let up 3 and it's still a 15-point game. Still ball to be played. We're still good. But then the pick 6 happened out, and that's when I was completely out of it. That's when I was like, all right, that's it.
All right, it's fine. Fair enough. Seahawks are a better team. They put themselves back into it. The Patriots put themselves back into it. Quick touchdown, quick 3-and-out, marching down to the field. They're basically at midfield. And then as fast as they brought themselves back into it, they took themselves out. 2 turnovers, one of them returned for a touchdown, a field goal allowed. They allowed 10 points, and it's all right. I guess we can't have nice things around here.
Yeah.
Nope.
It just shows how talented they are, and also how young. So,
Yeah. Well, in terms of our prop bets that we had, Pats obviously didn't cover. We didn't hit on the final deficit or the winning margin. Didn't come close to the third quarter over. We did get the under. We hit on that. We didn't get the pass attempt on the 1-yard line. We did get the defensive touchdown. We did get that. Trying to think of the sacks, just missed it by 1. Trying to think of all the other ones that we had, but Well, what were the other ones that we had? If you can remember. Oh, the lead changes. That was another one. Didn't get that, obviously, because Seattle held the lead the entire
They
game.
never lost the lead.
How'd that Efton Chisholm pick go for you, Chris?
Oh, that was.
Why would you pick that?
Because I thought he was going to play. I didn't realize he was going to be inactive.
He's been inactive for almost all the games this season.
Almost.
I wasn't saying I was just saying, hey, Afton Chisholm has passing attempts as well. And Josh McDaniels loves to pull this out of his ass sometimes. That was the main point, but obviously that didn't.
So when you read the
non-QB pass
inactive-
attempts, the non-QB pass attempts obviously did not hit regardless.
All right. So when you read the inactives and you saw his name on there, how was the reaction?
I said fuck, and just at that point, there's nothing else I can do but live with the fact that what we posted on Instagram is out there, and it's gonna have to stay out there.
Did anyone bet on the over/under on the national anthem?
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't bet anything in general. Technically, I can't because of my job, but I could tell you what to bet. Doesn't mean I am.
Yeah, I was gonna say the under just because I didn't put a bet. I'm a talk show host. We went over prop bets for the Super Bowl. Minute 52.
Yep, the under.
I could have sworn I saw this guy. I've listened to a little bit of his music. I thought that he was the type who would change up the lyrics, add a little more, and just be artsy with it, and maybe be a little slow. No, it was as milquetoast as it gets. So what a letdown. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Coin toss was heads. Gatorade color was yellow, which they gave us the Gatorade color well before it got dumped on Mike McDonald. That was kind of funny. Or any other ones? Well, we had a streaker. Well, not a streaker, but a fan charged onto the field. So someone probably won with that bet.
It was the fastest Kyle Williams looked all game.
Yep. I don't really know why Kyle Williams is doing that. You got a fucking Super Bowl they need to make a comeback in.
He needed to get some energy out.
Yeah.
What point in the Super Bowl was that?
That was when the Pats were starting to drive down when they were down 9. That was right after Diggs got into that kerfuffle and got hit out of bounds and then had a punch thrown on him.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I'm surprised the DB from Seattle didn't get ejected.
See, I kind of touched on it at the beginning. I was kind of surprised with the lack of flags that were thrown by the refs, which I don't mind because let the boys play and referees shouldn't be dictating shouldn't be the main reason how a game goes the way it goes, but you have to throw the flag when you see a punch thrown. What the fuck? That was ridiculous.
I was about to say, and Sean Smith, now of all times, you want to hold your flag? You don't do that with us.
Literally.
Why are you doing it now?
Yeah. I thought Mike Vrabel his head was going to fucking explode. All right. Anything else?
Better luck next year.
Yeah. Better luck next year. Yeah. We're on to baseball season. Well, rest of basketball and hockey, but see how the Celtics and Bruins hold up. But
I'm not sure if I'm prepared to go into baseball season with how my Orioles looked last season.
hey, you got Pete Alonso. You're good.
That doesn't make me feel better, because if we still suck, that's a problem, right?
True. All right. That's all the scheduled content that we have for you today. Thank you for tuning in to another Tuesday episode of the Fumblerooski podcast. And boy, now we're at the part of the season where we're kind of just counting down when we're only doing one episode a week. That sucks.
I don't know. I kind of like free agency. The draft is always fun.
Yeah. No, it is fun. But then once that all ends, we're back to one episode, and that's when shit really gets slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, be sure to tune in for our new episode coming out on Friday at 8 a.m. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have all our episodes available on Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, and so much more. Be sure to follow our Instagram, Fumblerooski_podcast, to keep up with the pod and the latest coverage on the NFL. Otherwise, for myself, Chris Kostic, Adam Wright, Justin Tucker, we'll see you on Friday. Over and out.